Hi, my name's Amelia Murdoch and I'm the creator of the Dash into Learning reading program. This is a quick tutorial on how to teach your child to read and how to use our program more effectively. We will go over the lesson and how to use the books, and then my 6-year-old will show how she uses the books to learn to read. First off, there's 10 books in the series. You want to start with book 1 with the lesson page. And on the lesson page, there are 5 steps. You want to make sure your child has mastered each step before moving on to the next step. So the first step is just the sounds. So your child does not need to know anything else. They don't need to know their letters. They don't need to know all the sounds. They just need to know the few sounds we have here. I would start out with 2 to 3 minute sessions of reading with your child a day and explain to them N sounds like N, S sounds like S, F sounds like F. So you do this whole first step just like that until they're really confident with these sounds. And the next step is easy. There's just a few sight words. I would just go over that the same way. Just spend about 3 minutes a day, review the sounds, and then add step 2. And each time they master a step, there's a sticker chart over here. So when they finish step 1 perfectly, you get to put a sticker on 1. And when they finish step 2 perfectly, they get to put a sticker on 2. So the third step is super important in teaching a child how to decode words correctly. So this will take a little bit for the child to get, but you demonstrate first by pointing at. So you do it nice and slow. You use your finger always. Point at. You show it to them, and then you point while they say it. And once you've mastered those 3 steps, you move on to step 4. And step 4 is taking what we just did on the blending path step and just taking the path away. So now they're doing the same thing with their finger, but the letters are right next to each other. You would go like this: ma, na, sa. It's the same thing as you did up here. You're just doing it quicker and they're closer together. So after they've gone through that and they're confident in this step, the next step is blending the words. So we've added that blending path back in to create a word. This part's really fun for kids because after all their work, they see how the blending creates actual words. So we're gonna start here with fan, sat, and you do it nice and slow at the beginning, and eventually the more you practice it, you do it faster and faster. Mat, rat. And after we finish all 5 steps and they've filled out their sticker chart, then they get to have the reward of reading the story. So then I would go through, depending on the age of the child and how well they're doing, I usually, if they're just starting out, I would just do 2 pages and then just be done and try and always end on a positive note. Don't be like, oh, you have to finish the whole book, keep going, keep going. Even if they're doing well, close it up and say, oh, that was great. Now you get to do it the next day, wait for tomorrow, and it gets them excited to read the next day. So that's how I would go about it. And once they get to the end of the book, the first time they get through the book will be a little bit rough. You know, it'll take them, they'll be going slow, sounding everything out, which is really good. And then I would go through and do the book again. So after they've read the story probably 3 or 4 times, at that point, most kids usually start memorizing the book. So then you know it's time to move on to the next book. Hi, I'm here with Lydia, and I'm going to teach you how I use the first book, Fan and Sam, in the Dash into Learning series. So Lydia, can you open up to the lesson page? Okay, let's start with the sounds. So after we master the sounds, then we learn the sight words. Can you read the sight words?
I, the, is, a.
Good. And after the sight words, after they feel very confident with the sounds and the sight words, then we move on to the blending path. So use your finger, Lydia, and show us how you read the blending path.
At, am, in, fin,
I'll try this one. It starts at the end.
na, ra, ma, sa.
Good. And then the next step would be blending those letters without the path.
Ma, na, sa, ta, at, mat,
Very good. So the next step, step 5, is blending the words together. So we add the blending path back in and we make a word out of the sounds we just learned.
Mat, Sam, rat, fat.
Very good, Lydia. After we go over the lesson and the child is confidently doing each step, then they're able to move on and read the story. So here's Lydia reading the story.
I am Fan. I sat at the mat. Sam sat at the mat. A fat rat. The rat ran at Sam. Fan ran at the rat. The rat ran. Is the rat at the mat? I sat, Sam sat. Look, I see Dash out the window.
Good job. Thanks for watching this tutorial. Go ahead and join our Facebook group, the Dash into Learning community, or follow my Instagram for lots more tips on how to teach your child to read.